Hi, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Ed Jelley, contributing editor here at Worn & Wound, and today we are going to prove scientifically that you don't have to spend a lot of money to have fun in watches. Of course, we're not gonna prove that, but we are gonna look at a couple of Casio watches that all come in under $50, and each of them has a fun bit of functionality that you really can't get with a mechanical. Let's take a look at these 5 watches from Casio, all under 50 bucks, that are sure to bring some fun to your collection. And before we get into watches, Casios are great, but they're not really known for their catchy model names. There is really nothing more than a couple numbers and letters, and they're all very confusing, so I apologize in advance. But first up is the Casio Pop LF20W8A. It's made out of a bio-based resin, and it has a digital display, but it has a digital analog display. So we have a little watch face on there and a running seconds counter that does all sorts of little graphic animations depending on the function of the watch. So you click the button, you get a little spiral. It's just fun. It also features an alarm, an LED backlight, a world timer, a regular timer, and that's a whole heck of a lot for a tiny little watch. Next up, we have the Casio WS500H. Again, catchy name, but this is a fishing watch. This is the updated version of the Casio fishing indicator watch, which as a fisherman myself, if there is a watch out there that can tell me right on the dial when it's time to fish, I'm all there. So how that works, you actually program in your location in the world, and then it takes the moon phase into account with some sort of weird old algorithm based on fish feeding and when they're more active according to where the moon is in the sky. So there's a little bit of weird old science trickery involved, and they have used that functionality right on the dial of the watch. So of course this thing has your fishing indicator, which goes from 1 to 5. Level 5 means get out there and fish. Level 1 means maybe stay home. There's also a moon phase indicator, which usually fish are more active around a new moon or a full moon. So knowing when that's coming up is handy for planning your next fishing adventure. It also comes in this cool khaki resin case, big chunky buttons, nice backlight. It's just a solid looking, hefty watch that is nice and light on your wrist, but still has some pretty serious wrist presence. 10-year battery life, really you can't ask for more out of your watch. If it's gonna tell you when to go fishing, any excuse is good for me. Next up, we have a distant cousin, actually not too distant, probably first cousins to the Casio F91W, probably one of the most iconic digital watches out there. This one is the Casio LA20WH. It looks like the most babyest G-Shock ever. If the G-Shock Baby G had a baby, that would be this watch. It's like the grand baby G-Shock. Is that a thing? Is that what we're gonna call it? Please don't, but it is adorable. It's super small. It's actually a little smaller than the footprint of the F91W, but the case is resin, a little chunkier, but it looks like the classic square G-Shock case. Now, it's not saying that it's shock resistant or anything, but it looks the part. So what you have here is a really tiny watch with a 5-year battery life, 30 meters of water resistance, an alarm, a stopwatch, and a backlight. So really all the core functionality you'd expect from a digital watch in honestly what is an adorable little package. So if you want a very tiny watch, this one makes a great option. Now we're moving on to the Casio LW0204BC. Super great title for this watch. This has a fully blacked out appearance. You've got the reverse negative LCD screen, a black resin case, a plain black band. It's a sleek looking watch. It almost has like an integrated bracelet kind of look with the case design, little barrel shaped case. You've got a 3-year battery, 50 meters of water resistance, an alarm, a stopwatch, and a backlight. Again, doesn't get much simpler than that, but if you want a sleeker option for your wrist, the LW0204-1BCF is a great option. Last up on the list, we have the Casio WS1300H. This watch is similar to the fishing watch, except instead of a fishing indicator, it'll show you what the tide is. Now, calculating the tide is kind of confusing. I did a deep dive on longitudinal intervals, and long story short, I can't figure out how to get the one for my local tide because they're very complex. Now, the back of the booklet for this watch does tell you the tide longitudinal interval for many popular places across the globe. So do some research if you're looking to get a Tide watch that is not connected to the internet, that can reliably give you Tide data. You don't want to be stuck out there at high tide when you're expecting something else. This watch features 100 meters of water resistance, a tide graph, the moon phase, dual time, a stopwatch, a timer, and several different alarms, as well as a backlight. So again, you've got a robust, chunky, but wearable watch that can help you know where the tide's at, especially useful if you're surfing, swimming, fishing, anything tide-based. This watch has your back. There you have it, 5 fun, quirky, and useful watches from Casio. If you're looking to add something to your collection or give something as a gift, these watches make a great option for somebody who might not otherwise be into watches. They're great, easy ways to break into that world without spending $1 million and just having some fun. I'm Ed Jelley, contributing editor here at Worn & Wound. Thanks for tuning in. As always, like, subscribe, and drop us a comment with your favorite affordable, quirky watch in the comments. We will see you on the next one. Thank you.